Welcome to another edition of GSC Diginet. This time, it's a championship edition. That's right, we had all the coverage on Championship Sunday at the 2014 Gulf South Conference Women's and Men's Championship rounds. And we'll start off with the ladies, as for the first time ever, West Florida claimed their first GSC Tournament Championship as they had an amazing round against Delta State in its 27th GSC tournament appearance. I'll tell you what, the first half saw steady play from both sides despite there being 5 lead changes with 5 minutes to go. West Florida maintained the lead for most of it as Chelsea Rhodes paced DSU with a half leading 4 rebounds and 3 assists, while Jenny Menz was a leading scorer with 9 points in halftime. In the second half, both teams continued to play steadily as neither team built more than an 8-point lead, but West Florida was too much down the stretch as Rhodes finished with a game-high 17 points, also adding 6 rebounds and 4 assists. As West Florida's Tanyetta Johnson led the team with 16 points and 9 rebounds, and Tessa Holt finished with 11 points. The win gives West Florida not only their first ever championship, but they now have an automatic bid in the NCAA Division II Women's Tournament, as does Delta State. They get an at-large bid. The field will be announced this week, and you can catch all the highlights from the NCAA regional round on the next edition of GSC Diginet. We will continue to cover both the men's and women's squads that make it on to the NCAA March Madness Division II tournament. On the men's side, North Alabama won the title as they faced Christian Brothers CBU, entering their 3rd straight GSC championship round as the defending champions. And I'll tell you what, the first half was in North Alabama's favor as it built a lead and kept one for the entire half. They set the biggest lead of the game at the 6:33 mark when they went up by 15 points. But CBU managed to cut the lead down to 11 at one point, and in the second half, they had a mission going on as the Bucks at a pivotal point in the game cut the lead down to 2 at the 12-minute mark. And I'll tell you what, it just kept getting better throughout as they would once again cut the deficit with 4 minutes to go. And at that point, Trey Casey drilled a big 3 after a steal, and then a huge dunk went down to make it 65-57. Too much UNA as they end up winning this one behind the play of Rashawn Claiborne and company as they increase the lead back to 5 and then end up winning the game in the paint mainly with some great play. 79-73, Claiborne dropped the game high 28 points along with 8 boards and 4 steals. Bruce Adams added 17 points. Meanwhile, on the CPU side, Trey Casey was limited to only 11 points, which really hurt them. The win marks the 6th all-time GSC championship for UNA, but the first since 1996. As they'll advance to the NCAA Division II tournament, we'll have the full field covered with highlights and so much more for any of the GSC teams that make it to the NCAA Division II tournament. But what an amazing tournament this was at Samford University, thanks to all of the sponsors, led by Raymond James, the title sponsor for the 2nd straight year. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see which GSC teams vie for an Elite 8 appearance. If you want to know what's going on, check out gscsports.org throughout the next week, and you can catch stats, highlights, news, and notes, along with the GSC Diginet follow-up edition coming soon. Until then, for everyone at the Gulf South Conference, I'm Jim Cavell, and this is GSC Diginet.